You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn connects you with experts from all over the world to help you take charge of your career, your business, and your life. Rap along with us. Visit drjacalyn.com to learn how to become a guest or a sponsor. And now, the doctor is in.
Welcome. It's Earth Day here on Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn. I am so excited for this special episode of our program. I am your host and executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. And as always, I am a certified life, career, yoga, and meditation coach. We are live streaming today at Business Talk Radio as well as social media. And my guest for this special show, who could it be? It's the Doctor Who of business, Ben Chai. Hello, Ben.
Howdy.
I'm just Avalon Jackie over here today. Who
Avalon
are you?
Jackie. Well, gosh, Jackie.
We're going to be talking all about the Earth.
Pretty.
You're looking quite dapper in your hat today.
Oh, you're so kind. Do you know, I don't know what I've done with my earth because it's Earth Day and I had this big jar of earth. Oh, I know. I gave it to a friend. Yeah, because I was killing my plant. So, well, they thought I was. Never mind. Let's get on with find that Swampy guy because I need to rehearse for a rap later on.
Well, I can't wait to hear the rap. And so you mentioned Swampy. Swampy is our guest. We have had him on the program. He was with Al Cini and myself, I think on the Variety Show. And he's got so much passion and so much energy when it comes to the earth, all things sustainability, education. Let's bring him out to the program. Hello, Swampy.
Hello, how y'all doing there?
Are you imitating Ben now? I'm not sure.
Hey, I'm not sure. Can we have a raise of hands? Who likes his hat versus mine? Come on, vote for my hat.
You know, I forgot my cowboy outfit. I should have worn the rest of it, really. I do have a cowboy kind of stuff. I don't know why I put this jacket on. Silly me. Anyway, let's get on with the show.
Yes, it's all about Earth today. Yes. So, Swampy, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and the value you're bringing to this world before we start talking about Earth Day?
Okay, great. Thanks so much. Yeah, I do Swampy. I'm a global character for clean water, wetlands, and Earth Day, kind of like the Smokey the Bear for forest. I do it for waters. And yes, within my name, each letter stands for something in an acronym called Swampy. And the S is brown for our soils. The W is blue, of course, for waters. The A is red for our animal friends who are like lifeblood bioindicators. M is for mankind, womankind, not black, not white, but a continuum of silver. And then P is green for our plants. And then Y is for our youth, which is yellow, like the sunshine. So I'd say, yeah, create a character and being a global character for clean water primarily, and wetlands produce that. And then each of the components that I've gotten with Swampy encompass Earth Day. And yeah, I wrote my first book called Swampy and Friends. And it's on Amazon, and where Swampy is feeling good. Then folks start moving around Swampy, and he's very popular. And then the kids come out and love playing around Swampy and his plant and animal friends. But sometimes at some point, he has too many people surrounding me and he gets a little bit ill. So the wetland plants and the wetland animals get sad, and Swampy, it kind of gets ill. So the kids get concerned and they ask Mom and Dad, what's wrong with Swampy? Then they go to their land doctors and the water doctors, and they fix Swampy up. The kids are happy, and Swampy and his plant and animal friends and the kids are happy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm hearing myself twice. Oh, Doctor Who, I'd love to hear from you. What do you think about Earth Day? What does it mean to you?
I was kind of just really listening to hearing you twice really. I love it.
I do too.
If I could hear you 4 times, that would be like, if I could hear it not in just stereo, but quadrophenia, or that would be great. Well, so Earth Day just means, look after the earth. What's that song? Something about the earth, make it a better place for you and for me and the whole human race. I don't know if you remember that song.
I think you just composed that, actually.
No, it goes, maybe I did. Make the earth a better place for you and for me and the whole human race. That's the only thing I can think of. But it essentially, all these kind of really popular Earth songs is about how we're destroying the Earth and with the pollution. I mean, in the UK, we exceeded some of the pollution recommendations from the EU, and our government had a kind of like a leaflet about what we need to do to reduce air pollution. I know Swampy's on about water pollution, but here we've got in London bad air pollution. So COVID was actually pretty good because no cars, no planes. Yeah, it just gave the world some time to breathe.
Yes, definitely.
CO2 emissions went down.
Yes,
down.
Absolutely.
Well, I think I shared with you that up until very recently, the last time I had purchased gas for my car was in December. So, that's how little I was driving.
So you're biking a lot these days, Dr. Jacalyn?
I am on my bike right here in the studio, and I'm on my trampoline, but not outside. I'm not going anywhere.
Very nice.
Yes.
Dr. J bounces all over the place.
I'm in and out of
rooms.
Then what I suggest, is lap swimming. We all need to get hydrated. And what's really nice was when you can flip turn and you can swim a mile, which is like 32 links. Then your body feels really good, and I need to start doing that. And I'm like, I haven't done that in a while. So, but yes, lap swimming, getting hydrated into the water.
I think that's a good idea. Yeah, I think you've got speakers on in the background, Dr. J, or something. Because I can hear myself. Maybe it's Swampy. What? Who's doing this? This is Earth Day, and here you guys messing around with your sound systems.
It's not me. I broadcast all the time. No, I think it's someone else. Someone else.
Yeah.
And we could talk about artificial intelligence and IT, how it affects the environment as well.
Yes. Yes. I was going to mention that Ben, you and I did interview someone yesterday who was doing a lot of swimming. Sandra.
Oh, really?
She was talking about the importance of swimming. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I think swimming in the sea hydrates you, and swimming in fresh water does. But I'm not sure about the swimming pools in the UK, because we have so much chlorine that when I come out, I feel all dried up, I feel
like I've shrunk maybe a whole foot because everything's shriveled.
Well, is that because you've been in the water a lot, or is it because of the chlorination?
Chlorine, because of the chlorine.
Yeah. So
do you all have
I hear what you're saying.
We know it's you, Swampy.
It's Swampy.
Now, are you on saltwater pools? Let's talk about saltwater pools.
Yes, we can talk about them. The only time I've ever seen a saltwater pool was at a resort.
Really?
Do you mean the ocean?
No, I'm talking about your own local pools, how they use salt water.
I'm in the center of London, mate. We don't have any salt water.
You're like me. You have rivers with mud and...
Yes, we have a very polluted... No, actually, to be fair, they're trying to clean up the river. They've been trying to clean up the River Thames forever. One day we'll be able to see the bottom. That's what I think. But at the moment, we still have a lot of pollution in there. And how do I know? Because if I go to a beach somewhere else, I can see to the bottom, you know?
Yes, yes. We actually had on the show a gentleman who has a company called Our Choice Fashion, and it's all about sustainability, and they manufacture sneakers out of natural resources. So there's no plastic at all. And he was sharing with us that the reason he started the company was he used to go out and start collecting plastic off of the beaches. He couldn't believe bags and bags and bags. There's also a Netflix special, I think it's called See something or other.
Seaspiracy.
Yes, that's it. About all of the plastic that's in our water, and it's just even washing your clothes. Depending on what the chemicals are that are in the fabric, you put them into the washing machine, and then those little pieces of plastic go into our waterways. So it's frightening.
Exactly,
well,
microplastics.
It's worse than that. Well, no, I don't want to get through it, because you know how we've got the recycling water plants.
Yes.
So you know a lot of that is people's pee and stuff like that, don't you?
I know it's yours, definitely.
That's what Israel is. You know, Israel does that. They process every water in every cycle. I just wanted to share great things going on in Israel there.
Mm.
The entire water cycle.
Israel and the UK, we're the most vaccinated people in the world.
I was like, what? That's true.
That's true. So
Swampy,
on a micro level, yes.
So I just want to let our audience know we're having a good time, but there are really serious issues. And we did have a conversation over in Clubhouse, which again, we're not paid sponsors yet. We should be. We talked about doing this program to recognize Earth Day and the significance of it. So Swampy, I'm going to highlight you again. And why don't you just share with our audience why Earth Day is important and why people should care?
Okay, sounds great. By the way, folks, if you want to join online, there's an online global Earth Day event. Just go to earthday.org and you'll see we were on there earlier in Clubhouse. Everything from people singing to people talking about climate change, need for clean water. There was also a discussion. Some gentleman was talking about food waste. Did you know that as much as 40% of our food is supposedly wasted? And then also a lot of people, like you mentioned, Dr. Jacalyn, as far as a lot of our clothes are made out of plastics. And the other thing is also single-use plastics, whether they be straws, whether they be shopping bags, whether I'm just going through to get a coffee and they have little stirring strips, okay, that they basically, I don't use them and they end up in the back of my car. So we're talking about recycling. We had a real issue here in the States because we were shipping all of our waste, or majority of it, over to China. And China basically said, no more waste. So we go, oh, okay, let's go to Indonesia. Then we go to Indonesia and places like, no. So we have to really deal with waste. And a lot of people, what you're not really talking about is the problems with the PPE refuse. I recently had cataract surgery, so I can actually see now. We're without the plastic, right? And I'm loving it. But the thing was, I noticed in the surgery, the nurse used the elastic gloves like about 2 or 3 times. So I'm like, where are those bad boys going? So this is something that we have to come to grips with. Also, strikingly enough, we can give talks about each one of these individually, are the problems with our rainforest destruction. They're great sources of oxygen. And a lot of times they take the rainforest, slash and burn, and they plant it into pasture land. Well, sometimes that doesn't work, and the soils run down the streams, and it kills the wildlife. And so we need to focus on that. Recently, we saw where the rainforest was burning, and several different countries that was going on. And then the other thing is the coral reefs. Our coral reefs, a lot of those, the acidity is becoming more acidic. And then a lot of our corals are dying. And I don't know if y'all knew this, but our corals are really like our rainforests of the oceans, and they're for biodiversity. And once we lose biodiversity, like the A says in Swampy, okay, animals, that is a bio-red indicator for us as human beings. So we need to help our creature friends, our plant friends. We need to watch the amount of water coming down. We need to watch places when they're getting warmer instead of colder. And we need to also watch out our energy, our pollution sources. And then the last thing I wanted to share as well, and I know this hasn't been mentioned, most of the discussion on the internet and climate and Earth Day this year will involve climate change. But my main thing is clean water. But this year, I specifically am pointing out the need for nuclear proliferation decreasing. Okay, we have a lot of issues with countries potentially not getting along, saber rattling, if you will, and we need to be very careful and be very specific, because in itself, it can get out of control and be devastating. So that's another major issue. You don't hear a lot about it. In Kentucky, we have an organization that's southeast of us called the Tennessee Valley Authority. They're famous for generating hydroelectric power, which is a renewable. But there's also a nuclear power plant in eastern Tennessee called Oak Ridge. So can we use nuclear energy? What do we do with the byproducts of nuclear energy when they have so much really long times for half-lives until they become inert? So wanted to share you a few other ideas. This is what's going on, local versus global. And we can continue to share some of these. And Dr. Jacalyn, I was going to ask you, what do you think as far as your Earth Day? What will inspire you on your Earth Day for today?
Well, I'm going to leave everyone hanging on the edge of their seats because we have to take a commercial break. We will be right back. We're going to hear from Our Choice Fashion, all about sustainability. So let's take a look and then we'll be right back. Thank you.
When all my broken sneakers started to pile up in the wardrobe, I realized that we have a problem. Sneakers are made from plastics, and plastic is not mendable. My name is Philip, and I'm one of the founders of Our Choice Fashion. How many times did this happen to you? How can eco sneakers save the world when they break after only a few months and we have to buy pair after pair that breaks? We are here to give you the solution, a choice for truly sustainable fashion in the world's first circular sneakers. On average, we all buy 3 pairs of sneakers each and every year. This adds up to 25 billion sneakers per year, of which most end up in landfills. This adds up to 350 million tons of CO2 emissions, the same amount as for the country of Italy or the state of California. So we started to develop a product that would have all the old-fashioned qualities. It is mendable, it has a classic design, and it has a natural comfort. Because we chose the best designer there is, Mother Nature. The sneakers get more and more comfortable the more you wear them. Made from vegetable tan leather and natural latex from the rubber tree, the sneakers are both sustainable and comfortable. These sneakers are made from pure raw materials that are both fully biodegradable and fully recyclable. The best thing here really is that when your sneakers need an upgrade, you just send them right back to us using the same bag that you got them delivered in. We then resole your sneakers, put on a fresh pair of laces, and give them a nice new polish. This means that you can wear your sneakers for many years to come. Our sneakers are more than sneakers. They are a circular function, and we developed a smart pull for you to step into your sneakers without stepping down the heel. This means that you get a truly sustainable grip. We've got a fully circular business model, and that's why we'll only produce sneakers on your demand. Book your product now and get that sustainable grip at a discount. We've been on this amazing journey for 2 years, and now we're inviting you to also make a choice for truly sustainable fashion. Try the world's first circular sneakers, 100% plastic-free, and I can promise you that our choice will be your companion for many years to come.
Uh, Before I get to that, I just want to thank our sponsor, ourchoicefashion.com. If you want to go to their website and make a donation, purchase a pair of their circular sneakers, they would love it. I would love it. Thank you. Okay, so we are back here and we're talking about Earth Day. Doctor Who of Business is with us. And we also have Swampy, who is now, I think, in costume.
I think he's a mushroom. So the
I'm an alligator.
I think the challenge is, you know, what Swampy was saying is that people don't see the coral reefs. They don't see many of the areas that Swampy's talking about. And I think for me, if I'm in my serious analytical Doctor Who mode, business mode, for me, it's the little things that, you know, we can do around where we live that we can reduce the problems. Just for example, small things like when the lockdown happened with COVID, many people went out and bought as much food as possible. The supermarkets were empty, and I could see straight away that all we're going to see is a lot of wastage in dustbins, which is exactly what happened in the UK. People just took, you know, fresh meat and just dumped it in the bins because, you know, a week or 2 weeks later they bought so much you know, where they couldn't put it anywhere else, taken off. So that was very, very sad and very tragic, you know, in terms of the world. The other thing that we have is a problem with bees. So again, in the gardens that I have, I'm constantly trying to plant flowers that the bees love to feast on. You know, I used to get, I don't so much these days, but I used to get kind of plastic bag and rubbish rage when I saw people throw things out of their car. You know, they're driving along and they throw rubbish out of the car. It could be just simple things like cigarettes, or they've got their Starbucks coffee or whatever it is, and they just leave it in the middle of the street. So for for me, I know there's small things, and I know that they're not particularly kind of like, you know, in terms of rubbish, recyclable or whatever it is. But I think it helps reduce the kind of impact on for me, the air around, you know, having rubbish and rotting food and all that kind of stuff, which creates more disease, by the way.
Agreed. I think part of it is having each of us change our own behavior. And I'll give you an example. So when I moved during the pandemic, I brought a lot of things with me, and all the closets are full. So I have a number of things, clothing, furniture, things that I'm not using that I want to get rid of. And so I thought to myself, well, there's nothing really around where I live, so I'd have to travel a ways to take the things. And then I thought, you know, I could probably call the veterans. They come and pick up things. You know, they have a service that comes in, and there's charities that you can donate, or Goodwill. And I think if people are putting clothing and things into the trash, and why can't we recycle it, share it among one another? Thoughts on that?
So in the UK, we have a lot of charity shops, and where we can donate clothes to, and people come along and buy those clothes, especially if you've only worn them for like, you know, 8 or 9 times, and so your clothes are normally pretty good. We've got homeless people, and there are various charities that work with them. So the homeless people need new socks and shoes and so on. And we find that very useful. So that's recycled in that area. So I don't know what it's like in certainly the States, but there are many very wealthy people who don't mind wearing second-hand clothes, and they're very happy to go to some of the charity shops in the UK.
That's great to know.
Yeah. I think if your wardrobe is full of clothes and shoes and stuff, and this is a lesson I actually had to learn over the last few years due to me being kind of indirectly bullied out of my house by some horrible directors of an estate. But I had so many clothes that I wasn't using, and I remember a very good friend of mine saying to me about my books, because I always wanted to have a library, so I had masses and masses of books. And she said, those books are dead. And I was thinking, what do you mean they're dead? She's saying, well, if nobody's reading them, they're dead. Yeah. And it's the same with if nobody's wearing all those clothes that you've had in your closet for a year. If you haven't worn your clothes for a year or 2 years, those clothes are dead. Somebody could be really looking fantastic, handsome, beautiful, whatever it is, with those clothes.
Well, you know what's interesting about that, and then Swampy, we'll have you jump in. So we have a fashion show. It's a show on fashion on this channel, and so we had a conversation about the fact that there are so many clothes that are just sitting, no one's using them, but yet people keep buying and buying. So if we do go to a society where we're only wearing secondhand clothing, for example, how does that impact the fashion industry? How does that impact manufacturing?
Well, that's really interesting. My daughter was in a fashion show where the fashion had to be made out of something recyclable.
I love that.
So, and that's all the dresses were kind of recyclable made dresses.
And one of those types of substance materials that we can use is hemp. Kentucky's one of the greatest, the hot state with actually hemp production. I think outside of Hawaii and Oregon, Kentucky's the third highest. And I think that's a real up and coming, but we have to look at the market economy. That's something else that we have to come to grips with as far as the costs of paper and hemp products versus plastics. It's kind of like our hydrocarbons dependent industry. A lot of the systems already are, and I'll chime in on this, use the word greased. The system's already been greased with hydrocarbons. And you also have to look at the efficiency, of hydrocarbons versus renewables. So when you're looking at that, then you have to focus. You have to look at the cost, as far as how we're looking at that and trying to make those compatible. So energy is fine, but you need to look at the efficiency of the coal versus the renewables. And so we've got a ways to go. I think we're making great strides. If you recall, not too long ago, we had an ozone hole that we were losing in our Earth, and now it's been lessened. And also, we had a national species, the American bald eagle, was in crisis. It had absorbed DDT in its food chain, and a lot of the eggs that the mothers hatched were very thin, and a lot of the babies died. And we came together as a nation and overcame that, and now we have some really great populations that have been created.
That's wonderful, Swampy. It's amazing how much progress there has been, and people might not be aware of that. Doctor Who, You wanted
to burp? You wanted to eat grubs?
I think you changed something to me.
Can you just mute Swampy for a second? He sounds like a swamp.
Sure.
I wanted to speak with Swampy about the work that he's doing, educating youth
children,
as well as
in the schools.
Yes,
go for it. He's doing a great job.
Hey, thank you all very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've got my book. I just recently released, and the neatest thing is Clubhouse. I've been on Clubhouse for like about 12 weeks right now, and it has been a monumental difference for me. The interesting thing is you can actually go right now to my Instagram account or my Linktree account, and you can click on that, and you can see all the swampyisms in the planet. It was real interesting because my friend Dave actually wrote a song called the Swampy Song. And I encourage you to listen to that. Then I had a friend, Matthew, out in LA. He actually works with puppets. So we had puppets, that could actually link sync the song, the Swampy Song. And you can find that again on my Instagram account. Put in the word Swampy Inc., SWAMPY. INC. You'll see me come up. It'll have my bio. Then you can click right in the middle, a link tree. And with that, you can see some great videos. We went to Alaska and everybody wanted to see a what? grizzly bear, right? So the bus driver goes, if you see rocks moving, that very well could be a grizzly. So guess what? We had a party of 8, and they look. And sure enough, there were a couple rocks moving, and it was like a big mother grizzly coming off the glacial field. And it was great because I was in the very back of the bus with my camera, videotaping. And then she bounds up over this side, and I could zoom in on her, right? And she comes right behind us, and there was somebody behind us that had a dog in their car. And the dog starts barking, and the bear went right behind their car. And as it came up the left side of the bus, I casually stick my camera up, and I zoomed right into her fur, and it glistened in the sun. And it was the most beautiful thing. Then she went, there was a sign, and she started scratching her back like this. So you can see that on my YouTube video, as well as Swampy singing to jellyfishes, crabs, and events that I've done at the North American Association for Environmental Education. But yeah, thanks a bunch. My main focus with Swampy is to teach kids at an elementary level using color association and holistic being, the importance of science. And I have my own curriculum called Science, Technology, Reading, Energy, Arts, and Mathematics. And I would join you to collaborate with me, partner with me. And I've also got, real quick, would y'all mind if I tell them my outreach in Africa, by the way?
No, go ahead.
Please.
Okay. Yeah, we've got, I've got some friends in West Uganda around a town called Soroti, and connected with them. They're with the Branches of Grace Ministry, and it's an orphanage of 250 kids. And they're having to drink rancid water from a local nearby swamp, and they fight mosquitoes. Well, right now, they've lost a lot of their crops, and the kids are suffering because they don't have clean water. So that's my first one of my first priority is to know the importance of clean water. So we're now trying to provide clean water for the kids, and we're making a monumental effort. I've actually found organizations online. One of them is called 1 Million Wells, in which they can drill wells at a very good price. And hopefully we can get the kids something that is sustainable. So that's one of my reaches out in the Africa. And I'd also like to do the same for the Native American tribes in United States as well.
Swampy, thank you for all of that incredible detail. We are streaming, thanks to Ben, we are streaming your, we need a little space in there, your Instagram information as well as your YouTube. So, and also that you're on Clubhouse. So I hope that helps. Let's see. Let's take a look at it. Yes.
And okay. Dr. Jacalyn, one other thing real quick. I'm trying to take my Swampy and Friends book and my characters and present a package. We would like to have a TV show. When I grew up, we had a great TV show called Captain Kangaroo. And on Captain Kangaroo, we had characters like Dancing Bear, Mr. Green Jeans, Rabbit and Moose, and Tom Terrific. And we've got the same thing with Swampy. We've got Old Cypress. We've got Josie, the Swamp Princess, when we have the Hydric Heroes. And so, yeah, we want to do the same thing because kids don't have a lot of programming, especially since they lost Mr. Rogers, and we want to let kids be curious and kids be kids again.
That is a great initiative, and I hope there are people out there that will support your work on that. We are going to take a break, and we're going to hear about how you can clean your air. That sounds really interesting, doesn't it, Dr.
That sounds amazing.
All right, let's take a look.
The world of healthcare is benefiting us in many ways, but the risk of becoming a victim to an airborne infection is increasing at a fast pace too. There are threats from viruses, allergic pollen, and chemicals which cause you loss of health, income, business, mental health, family and friends. All are at stake. One solution to this threat are the BV Air Sanitation Placide-based systems. When you call our team on 0208 104 3253 you find out about the amazing protection available. Protection that uses certified Battlefield, tested, standard and customized air disinfection systems for your personal and business use. Each system uses a filterless technology known as Placide, which attacks all airborne particles with microlighting to destroy and eliminate viruses and other harmful particles in your office, transport and home. You also benefit from extra bonuses such as low running and maintenance costs, no regular filter and part changes. You get to work with our trained experts and professional staff and be made aware of the latest in airborne protection and disinfection strategy. Keep yourself healthy by working with our trained experts and Placide virus killing systems, which keep you safe from airborne viruses. BV Air Sanitation Limited. We save lives, save businesses, and prevent infection. Schedule your free consultancy call and virus protection checklist. Call 0208 104 3253 or connect to us on www.bvbuster.com.
Welcome back to Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn. It's Earth Day here, and my co-host is Doctor Who of Business Ben Chai, and our guest is Swampy. Doctor Who of Business, would you talk to us a little bit about Placide microlighting and explain a little bit more about how it cleans the air?
Yeah, sure. So the technology literally destroys chemicals in the air. According to the American studies, there are over 60,000 chemicals that shouldn't be in the air that are in the air. And so what Placide does is that it's a technology that sucks in the air like a normal water filter, except this is filterless. And behind the scenes, there's like a tube. And so the air goes in one side, and inside there's a little kind of a micro lightning, which fires lightning at the air, and all the particles, all the chemicals inside gets melted down into kind of fresh air. So then it comes out and you get fresh air. And it's really very simple. And I know it's being distributed in the States at this moment and in the UK and parts of Asia. So hopefully we'll see more of that. That kind of technology coming out rather than traditional HEPA-based units, which they collect some of the particles in the air. They don't collect everything. For example, volatile organic chemicals, which is what is the main problem that we have in the world, even more than viruses, fun enough. And it causes all kinds of allergies. So again, Earth Day is a little bit more than just, us looking at coral reefs and rivers and stuff like that. We've polluted the world in so many different ways, and that's not to minimize the impact that we're having on these rivers and so on. But I think people don't really care about stuff until they understand that it's affecting them. And if we see the bees dying, according to many scientists, again, that's going to cause a massive problem in our society, and what then other things will now die because the bees have died. And air pollution causes so many problems, not just to humans, but to the rest of the ecosystem.
That's really fascinating, Doctor Who. And I'm wondering, you mentioned this technology, this product is available in the States. Is this something that's available for purchase by an individual consumer, or is this only for corporations? Is it B2B, B2C?
Yeah, it's based on a lot of, so this is very much a consumer product, for example. Yeah, it's kind of like it's portable. So and you can have it in your cars and so on. So that's a very consumable. It's in Amazon, and there are larger systems that work with the air conditioning to remove those viruses. Not the viruses, the viruses and the chemicals. The challenge with these, though, is that they're a temporary fix, for health, but we're not getting to the cause that's creating the chemicals. So we may be able to protect, the the offices, bedrooms, and cars and so on, but we're not protecting the outside. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's a major issue.
Yeah. So at some stage, who knows? We could be, our generations from now could be walking out into, when they leave their houses, into a very poisonous kind of world. Who knows? So let's clean the world today.
Let's take it. Every one of us needs to take steps to make sure that that doesn't happen. Swampy, we are coming to the end of our program, and I want to give you an opportunity to say something to our audience that if you need support in some way, you mentioned a few initiatives that you have, maybe you could just reiterate them, and I'll run your banner and folks can support you in your work.
Thank you, Dr. Jacalyn, and Ben, thanks for sharing on this great Earth Day. You know, last year I did a 50th anniversary for celebration of Earth Day on creativemornings.org. And then prior to that year, we did 8 weeks to Earth Day, every week being a different topic. The first week, the history of environmental protection. The next week, clean water and wetlands. The third week, forestry, coal and carbon, and the climate change. Then the next week, we did endangered species and invasive species. Then we also did energy and renewables. We did waste. There's a lots of topics. And also there's other areas in information technology, geographic information systems. I have been fortunate to be able to regulate the coal industry in Kentucky. I've also been able to be an urban planner for city planning, and then also to actually regulate the coal industry. And in the coal industry, I want to share with all you, all my educators out there, let's take kids that are interested in water and maybe they want to have a profession as a hydrologist. And some folks, if they want to drill, that's a geologist. And then a chemistry, when you look at the chemistry of the water, when it interacts the oxygen and the H2O with the different strata, and then how that affects the biology of the streams and the lakes and the ponds, and everything is tied in. What goes around comes around, as I would like to say. But yeah, connect with me. If there's any way that I can help you, specifically on Clubhouse, it's the big day. But yeah, I can very easily be reached Swampy at swampy.org. And then swampy.org is my site. And on Clubhouse, it's the at sign and Swampy. And I will be glad to help you in your outreach. And also, I do environmental permitting and help in regards to historic and environmental resources. And I would be glad to reach out and help you in any way that I can. So thanks for your time. I want you guys to have a great Earth Day and get out there, take a walk, recycle a little bit, share a great energy. I think we all can realize that we are one. And it's important that we all take care and we be kinder as a people while we are kind to our environment. So thank you very much, Dr. Jacalyn. Yeah.
Thank you, Swampy. We'll leave your banner running up a little while longer. It's been a pleasure having you here today, and look forward to seeing you on Clubhouse later on.
Look forward to it. And Ben, thanks so much. I enjoyed the air issue too. That was cool.
Thank you, Swampy. You're an amazing man.
Yes, you are. Thank you, Swampy. Doctor Who, I'm glad that you could share with us some options that we have to clean our air. But as you mentioned, it's a much bigger issue that every one of us is going to have to change our behavior, because otherwise we're eventually going to be literally suffocating. And all the species are going to be dying, and we have to act now. So what's one thing that you'd like to suggest for people to start doing differently?
Well, one thing is to think about how to recycle your clothes. You mentioned this already, and give it to charities and so on. And I think in some way we almost need to make it cool to be wearing other hand-me-downs, as we used to call them. You know, it's cool. Yeah, my dad used to wear this. You know?
Look at this jacket. Ben Shai used to wear it. Now I'm wearing it.
He was famous. I mean, you know, that. not litter so much. Tried to think about, like, I went through a phase of never buying anything in plastics, for example. So those are little things, and now I've expanded that, so I do actually occasionally buy things with plastic, but today I don't, because I think that's not good. I'm trying to think of little things that people can do. I'm always trying to think of little things, because most of us think, oh, it's too big. Me on my own, I can't do any of these things. Join an organization which doesn't suck up lots of money, but just join them and do your little part. Is what I'd say. And if everyone did a little bit, the whole world would literally change. It was a bit like if everyone stopped driving their car so much, then the air pollution went down. And of course, that was forced on people by the epidemic.
But it really has made a difference.
Yes, a massive difference. Suddenly people could see that in places which had a lot of pollution, suddenly they could see the sky.
Which is amazing. It's something that I've been trying to figure out. Maybe you can help me. I have a trampoline, and I was jumping so much, I guess, that 2 of the springs broke. So I got another trampoline, and now the first trampoline is in the garage, and I don't know what to do with it, because technically it's broken, but I don't want to put it out in the trash. So I'm not sure what to do with it.
Put it on Facebook and say, hey, I've got a trampoline with 2 broken springs. Can anyone fix it? Okay,
I like that.
There's this, Facebook has so many of these market things, and yeah, I mean, I've done that. I did that for my DVDs, my CDs, and there's a lot of people who private messaged me and took all of them because they wanted to keep them rather than me having to dump them. And I realized that there are countries where the internet is terrible, so streaming doesn't really work for them. And for them, those CDs and DVDs, they don't need to be going into landfills.
Right. The fewer things we put into landfills, the better. So I think it's just a matter of sharing. Maybe you and Swampy can switch hats. I think that would be kind of cool. Maybe you could send him your hat and he'll send you his.
Maybe. Dr. J, you never know.
Well, that's a wrap for today, my friends. And it's been great having you here today. So are you going to be on Clubhouse? Where will you be?
Yes, I'm going into Clubhouse right now. We've got a competition, a voiceover competition for the last 2 weeks. So this Thursday and next Thursday, and competitors can win a vocal, not vocal coach, a voiceover agent. So they will then promote you and get you jobs as a voiceover actor. That's it. That's the prize. What a cool prize. And one of the judges is a lady who did a lot of impressions and got to the finals of Britain's Got Talent. Her name's Francine Lewis. Her YouTube channel for that episode got more views than the winner, I think.
I think Fraser has a great idea. Give away a T-shirt for that Dr. Ben Swampy Who. He put all the words together. Get it?
Yes, I did. And I'm sure that Fraser will actually create that T-shirt and send it out. Thank you, Fraser. It's so cool.
So smart.
You're cleaning up there, Fraser.
Dr. Who, where can we find you? Are you going to be in the social magnetism room, or where is this competition taking place on Clubhouse?
That's in the Mark Summers and 529 Creatives Club.
Okay, well, we'll let you head on over there, and I'm going to get ready. For It's All About Dating. It's all about dating.
Who's on your dating show?
Today it's Crystal Morris.
All right, that's right, Crystal. Hello, Crystal.
Hello, Crystal. So thank you, Dr. Who. I'm going to take us out with a public service announcement, and I hope you have a great time at your event. I'll try to drop in and check it out.
Great. Thank you, Dr. J. Bye.
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 Goodbye.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting. I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling. when I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.